How we doing today, folks? This is the techgooch back with another video review. I got a little different setup this time, so hopefully it'll be a little better video with a new tripod. We're going to go ahead and get right into the review for my new Verizon iPhone 5. So here we are on my nice little clean whiteboard now. And this is the 32 gig Verizon iPhone 5. It is the black one, obviously. I actually sold my iPhone 4 that I currently had. I got a nice price out of it and was able to purchase this for almost no money. And so here's the box. Obviously everybody does unboxings. I'm just going to kind of show you what's in the box itself. Basically everything, including the headphones and everything in here. Actually, I'll grab the headphones. I set them all out. And actually, this is the first time a set of headphones actually fit my ears, or earbuds, I guess. And that's a nice box. So, enough with that. So let's get into the actual phone itself. I actually have a nice hard shell case on here to make it as thin as possible. So I'm going to take it out of there. Just kind of go over it. Obviously, everybody knows that the phone is nice and thin. Looks really beautiful. And there's the nice Retina display. There's really nothing more I can say other than the phone looks amazing. Other than that, you know, from the 4 to the 5, the phone it is a little bit taller. Basically, the big thing to know about that is that when you are taking or watching videos, it is 16:9. If you've watched any other videos, you know all these things already. Really, the big thing that most people should take away with this is that, to me, the difference between the 4 and the 5, the size of the screen is almost negligible. The big thing that I really like the 5, or the iPhones in general, over the Galaxy S series, or like the S3, which is the big competitor, obviously, would be the ability of using one-hand operation. So when I'm actually using my phone most of the time, I'm doing it with one hand. I don't have to use a separate hand. Obviously, when you put it in your thumb, you can actually touch all four corners of the display. So I can reach everything on the screen with one hand, with one thumb, one-handed operation. That's really what drove me to the iPhone in the first place, kind of. It wasn't too bulky. It fits in the pocket. It's nice and small and thin. But then, of course, now that I'm invested in the Apple ecosystem, I have movies and TV shows through iTunes. I have a lot of apps from the App Store. Changing game players midstream would make almost no sense to me. So, thankfully, this is the phone I liked anyway better than the S3. It's not that I don't like the S3. I think they did a fantastic job on that phone. However, I like the smaller, thinner display. They could have kept the same size screen as the iPhone 4 and I probably wouldn't have mattered that much. But now having the larger display, there are several things that I do like about it. For one, watching movies. Videos fill the screen completely. So obviously this is a taller screen, but when you watch movies in landscape, they fill the 16:9 video fits perfectly. Another thing to think about is you do get a lot more room for apps on your home screen. So you do get another row, but not only do you get another row there, when you actually have a folder, you get another row in your folder as well. So if I have I know I have probably several that I fill up, so you get an extra row. I'm starting to, obviously, in my utility folder, I'm starting to put more in there as well. So that actually is a big benefit to me, because then I can cut down on how many actually pages I have. Cutting down on the pages, as long as I know where the app is, folders work great for me. Otherwise, if you're not a folder person, then it's not really going to matter that much. The other thing is when you're playing games. When you're playing games, having that more screen display is nice, especially with games that have like controls for your hands. So when you're actually using controls on each side for the thumb, you have more uninterrupted screen space. So it is more usable in that situation as well. But the other thing to keep in mind is the camera is a lot better on the 5 over the 4 and the 4S as well. They really did increase the low light capability, the better lens and everything like that. So the images that I'm actually capturing off the 5 are absolutely amazing. So that's several of the big features that I really do like about the iPhone 5. So I did want to show you real quick with the video. I have a small video clip that I did. Is actually a video clip of my daughter in gymnastics. was taking it behind some dirty glass, so don't look at the actual display, but you can see how it actually fills the entire screen now. There are no black bars or anything. The 16:9 video fits perfectly. And one thing that the F5 does, obviously, does picture taking better than the 4 or the 4S. The video taking is much clearer as well. It's actually quite impressive how awesome they did with the display on this. So when it comes to using your phone on a vacation, the iPhone 5, and I'm sure the Galaxy S3 has a fantastic camera as well, because all of them have been doing great, but for the difference between the 4S and the 5, they really did an awesome job on the camera. And I know there's not a whole lot of difference, but they did definitely increase the low light capability. And I actually have a photo that I took that I was actually quite impressed of the moon. And actually, I have one in my house. It was pitch black outside. No light at all, actually no moon out, and this is after I put my Christmas lights on, but you can actually still pick up detail. I don't know how good the camera's picking this up, of my garage door, which is there, everything. In the past, I couldn't even pick that up with my old iPhone 4, and I did take one at complete pitch black as well. There was no light. There was a moon with a whole bunch of haze around it, so it was kind of neat. But I was actually able to pick up features of my house here. You can actually see some clouds in the distance. This is obviously at about midnight. And in the past, I would never be able to pick up detail like this. So I was really happy with the camera on the iPhone 5 as well. Other than that, there's a lot of features, obviously, in gaming. I don't want to get into the gaming and actual watching of movies for copyright reasons. But there's a lot of awesome things you can do with this phone. And Apple, I think, hit a really good stride. Obviously, I can see some different things they could do in the future. With, like everybody's talking about NFC, but with the iPhone 5, you do get Passbook. I really am a big fan of Passbook, to be honest. I think they did a fantastic job with it. And I really am kind of hesitant even on NFC. I really think it's probably the way of the future, but I think they got to get the... I don't know. In all reality, it's probably just fine, and the security reasons behind it with being able to turn on and off is probably just fine as well. So that's probably where I see them going in the future. As with any of my phones, I did put a screen protector on this one. So on the iPhone 5, this time I actually went with the new Invisible Shield HD. I used to be a fan of the Invisible Shields, but then when I went to the glass screen protector on my last phone, I have a video review of that as well. The glass feeling is so much better than that first Invisible Shield. This one, I didn't want the bulk, and I didn't want the deep home button, so I decided, I'll try out the the HD protector from Invisible Shield from Zag, and so far I'm highly impressed by it. I'm going to do another video review of this as well. I just want to give it a little bit longer to see how the durability lasts up. I've had my iPhone 5 for a couple weeks now, so I do have some time under my belt with it, and that's why I'm really liking it more and more. And most of the people that I have found that I know actually bought the same phone. So with that said, one last thing I wanted to point out with obviously the big difference between the 5 and the 4s and the 4S is that Apple did put the Lightning connector in, as well as the headphone jack on the bottom. Now, that's not a big move actually, but the headphone jack on the bottom makes a lot of sense, specifically for people that they'll put they'll go to charge it in the car. They'll put they'll plug the Lightning connector in here. Maybe you'll put it in a cup holder like this, but you still want to use the audio out. You don't have cables coming from both sides of the phone, so that was an awesome move in my opinion. And the Lightning connector, I think, is the smartest move Apple's made. Maybe I'm the minority or the majority, I don't know. But the old dock connector definitely was getting old. It was a pain in the ass, specifically if you're sleeping if you use your phone as an alarm clock, which I do. I do have a nice little alarm clock app that I use to obviously wake up to and everything. And using that at night, you plug your phone in to charge it with the Lightning connector. It doesn't matter which way the plug goes, this way or that way. And that makes a huge difference to me. So that was a huge actually selling feature to go to the 5 rather than the 4S. Even though I was going to go to the 5 anyway, that was a big stepping stone in my opinion, and I can't wait to see all their devices go that, so you don't hear the headache of everybody complaining. So that's a big feature. So I wanted 2 more things to go through real quick before I sign out, I guess. One, with that charger, I was going to show you the cable. So here's the cable. You can plug it in that way, or if you flip it around, plug in that way. Makes it really easy to do at night. So obviously, as with the other Apple iPhones and devices in the future or in the past, this is exactly what you got. But you don't get this. This is from my old Palm phone to wrap the cable up. But you obviously get the nice cabling from them. So and then the last thing I wanted to go over was the earbuds. It does come in this nice case. One thing Apple's great about is packaging their product. This actually is what came with the phone, so a carrying case that you can actually put them back in if you really wanted to. But the earbuds themselves, they definitely did a one-up of everything they've ever done in the past. So the funky design, that little weird turn they did in them, actually makes the dang things fit your ears better than they ever have before. And the sound actually is directional, so it actually is pushing the sound into your ear. The big thing that I've noticed between these and every other earbuds I've ever done is that these do not create a suction cup around your ear, so you can still kind of hear ambient noise around the room. However, it's a lot fainter because this is actually directing the sound from the earbuds into your ear. So what Apple has done with this, I think they did a really good thing. Like I said, it's the first type of earbud that I've ever actually used that as I was walking around the house, they never fell out. Now, I don't think they're going to stay if I'm running or biking or something like that, but walking around the house, I did not have to adjust them one time. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. I've tried Klipsch, I've tried, a whole bunch of different ones, Skull Candies, I've tried a whole bunch of the ones, even the ones that actually have the rubber thing that actually pop in your ear and create a suction. Within a few minutes, they'd start coming out on my ear. Even like the Jawbones, stuff like that for the Bluetooth. I've never had a Bluetooth headset that actually worked in my ear yet. They would completely just continually start falling out, where these have not. I've actually walked around doing dishes and stuff for about half hour, 45 minutes, and not once did they actually move. But they don't create that suction. They're a completely different type of device, so my ears can breathe still. So maybe I'll actually show you exactly what they look like in my ears. Okay, so this might be a little close and a little bit different kind of video, but I'll do my best to see if you can see it. So this is the earbud, this is my ear, so my ear may be a little differently than everybody else's, but basically I just stick them in there like that. And as I'm talking, as I'm working around the house, as I was doing dishes, they don't feel like they're moving. Maybe they're moving and I just don't know it, but they don't create a suction. They just basically go into your ear and turn, and then that sound actually gets diverted right into your ear. So from what I've used them so far, they're actually quite amazing, to be honest. So there you have it, folks. My review on the iPhone 5. Not a big technical review like a lot of places are going to do, but I just kind of thought I'd give my 2 cents at least in. I do have some reviews coming up for some accessories that I got with my phone. Like you saw, the screen protector, I want to do a review on that, but I want to give it a little bit longer. I do want to do a quick review probably on my case that I got, which is a pretty cheap, although not cheap, very thin, clear plastic case for the phone. I had a hard time finding anybody that recommended one over the other, and I was going to go with one, and that was just the one that I found at the store when I bought the phone. I wanted to get a case on it the first day I got it, so that's what I did. Other than that, I hope to have another review on the fantabulous tripod that I'm using now. So far, this is the second or third time I've used it, so I want to wait a little bit longer before I actually get my hands on it a little more and try it on different things. So with that said, thank you for watching, and check me again next week or in the future for another video. And if you have any recommendations or comments, below is the time to place the comments. And if you'll have, like I said, a recommendation, go ahead and message me directly, and I will try to fill the needs. Again, this is the Tech Gooch saying thank you for watching.